Welcome to our suite. It's 2025, baby.
Yeah.
And we got new positive attitudes.
We do. We got hope.
We got hope, baby.
We've come back from Brazil and we're feeling mighty fine.
Mighty fan. 2024 tried to break us, but 2025...
Yeah. The energy at the end of last year, I'm
like,
not going to lie. Yeah, it was
I can't lie,
giving.
my energy for life in general was bad.
We needed a rest.
We needed to rest. We needed to have some fun.
And we did both.
And we did it. And look at us now.
Yeah.
Glowing,
refreshed,
shining,
renewed.
refreshed.
We've got a Brazil group trip that
New
is sold
lease of
out,
life.
so you can't come.
We back, baby.
Yeah, we're back.
We really
to
back.
business.
Back and thriving.
Back now like we never left.
So today's episode, if you didn't really guess, it's on Bumba Clark Brazil. Brazil.
Yeah, we had such a good time.
Best time of my life.
I think we knew we were going to have a good time, but I don't think we expected.
No. I didn't expect that at all.
You didn't know you were going to have a good
I thought I
time?
was going to have a good time, but that was an unreal time.
Yeah.
Like that, maybe that's like top 5 holidays of my life.
Yeah, same.
Right now, in my mind, it could even be number 1.
I think it's number 1.
It's number 1.
Because it ticked all the boxes, really.
Everything. And also, I think the difference in this trip, in any trip we took last year, because obviously we travel a lot, was we closed our laptops. And
I mean, this is the only time, really.
Bro, I didn't charge my laptop for a week. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I said, I'm here to live life.
We were really on holiday.
We were on holiday.
Yeah, it was a good time.
All right, so let's do the rundown.
Let's break it down.
Let's break down the trip.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to go for a while. It was on our hit list,
It
Rio,
was, yeah.
and definitely New Year's Eve because it just looks so lit.
I think so. Let's even start with New Year's since you started that. What's your thoughts?
On what? New Year's Eve.
My friend,
great time.
my lash girl, she asked me, can you, what was New Year's like? Because she's never done New Year's there, but she's done Carnival. And I said, it felt like an out of body experience.
Yeah.
It actually felt like now when I look back, it's like I'm watching myself on TV. Like it was just amazing.
I think it also was like a little like, blah, because we were trying to get the content and then also trying to enjoy it at the same time. And then we knew it was only going to last for the fireworks were only going to last for a certain amount of time. So we were just like, let's enjoy it. Let's get content. Let's enjoy it. Let's get content. Oh my God. And then you're in the waves and then your shit's falling everywhere. You got your bag on you.
My tits coming out.
Yeah,
my whole boob came out, guys.
Yeah. Everyone on the Copacabana Beach definitely saw your boob.
Even when I look back at I'm watching the video back now when you were like taking photos of me and my boob came out. You were trying to tell me.
We should post it. But
you were
with
like a sensor or something. And you were literally, Helena was like, I'm gonna wet myself.
Yeah, I literally almost wet myself.
And I was like, what? I couldn't, because like it's so loud, like everything's going on, you can't even hear. Like,
and I think it was all that buzz for that moment. It felt like an eruption.
So it's like 12 minutes, guys, for context. Like you have 12 minutes of fireworks.
And everyone's waiting around on the beach,
Yeah.
like with their friends, whatever. And then as soon as the fireworks go up, everyone's like running into the water.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. Everyone's just wet. Everyone's screaming. Like it's crazy.
So you have to so the tradition there is that you have to jump those 7 waves for
And
good
wear the
luck
different
and prosperity. And everybody wears white, and you wear different color pants for different things. I can't remember what pants were. You wore, what color
I
did you
did
wear?
green for hope.
And I did orange.
Hope is alive.
Which I believe was I don't remember.
Prosperity.
Prosperity, I think.
It was like yellow was like for money, red was for love. There was all different things.
Yeah, mine was like money and prosperity, I think, or one of them.
I mean, the hope's been flying.
Yeah, you've been so hopeful. You've been in.
I believe I can. I believe I can. That's my theme song for the year.
You was like really like living the life.
I feel like my whole life's had a new leaf since that.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been so positive since I've come back.
Yeah.
And I just feel like nothing can faze me. I'm just like, yep, life is left, and life's gonna be good, and everything's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Like every time I feel stressed out, I'm like, nah, cannot be me.
And I think that also the great part is we're going back, baby. Like we're going back, so I don't even care about anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going back to fucking Rio.
We're going back, and it's bigger and badder than ever because we've got a group trip.
Gang.
We've got friends coming. I got my boyfriend coming.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a good time. I think we're gonna have a great time over there. So
yeah, New Year's Eve was crazy. We met some mandems.
oh, the drama.
Well, they weren't my mandems.
Wasn't my man them either. Should we give him a little breakdown of what happened?
I mean, I had a nice night, and I don't take anything away from that night because, like, I go with what I felt on the night, which was like I felt safe. I didn't feel like.
But I feel like we
there
would have
were
had a good time
weirdos.
regardless. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Even if they weren't there, we would have had a good time. Like,
Yeah.
I was there for my gals, innit? I wasn't there for the mans.
I mean, neither was I.
You weren't there for the mans either. To be honest, our friend who isn't here, so we'll call her Sandra. She had matched with this guy on Hinge. And he seemed like a nice guy. He was from the States, obviously she's from the UK.
Good vibes.
He seemed like good vibes, and we decided to all link up on New Year's. So my guy was doing up the most. He sent us an Uber to pick us up from our
Oh
apartment.
yeah, forgot about that.
Man sent us an Uber from our apartment to pick us up. And
I haven't
drop us at
mentioned
his
like any
apartment.
story that I've told.
Yeah, that was a significant key part. I remember to tell
Wow.
that. So then we get this Uber to his apartment. We get there. We have they had already met previously, so they were like, oh, hey, whatever. And then we met his friends. We all had a little drink together, did a tequila shot.
And it was cool vibes.
It was
like
good
it wasn't
vibes.
weird. They weren't like, I know weird men, trust me.
Same.
And they weren't giving off any weird energy or like, I want to do anything with you energy. Like nothing like that.
I would say they were all quite respectful from the jump.
100%.
And I'm saying that as someone who's coming into this knowing that I've got a boyfriend. So I've got to like tread lightly. And I would say none of them were like giving any weird energy at all.
No.
So it was all cool. It was all good. We left. We went down. We were all having banter. Walked down to the beach. Got to basically where we were. So they had like booked this like table reservation area at this like beach bar. So we got there, all chilling, chatting. Then I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes before the countdown was about to happen.
Yeah, we left.
And we were like, bye, we gotta get our content.
Yeah, we were like, y'all ain't helping us. We gotta go.
Well, the content they were doing wasn't good.
We weren't going to come back. We just left
Yeah.
to go and get our shots, do our thing. And then
So we
come
were like,
back
let's
and
go
join
get our
them.
photos and that, and then we'll link back up with them after. So we go down to the beach. We bump into my friend. Well, no, we meet up with my friend Clay, I should say, and then all his mates, and then we're all together taking photos, doing content, fireworks, crazy, 7 jumping, whatever, having a great time.
I mean, I think I did like 2 jumps.
I think I did.
was scared
I
that
did
my whole
one.
bag was going to fall in the water.
After my boob came out, it was a wrap. I couldn't jump no more.
Yeah.
We were soaked. Like I was absolutely
Yeah, but
drenched.
it wasn't cold actually.
I think
a lot of
the
people ask
excitement had us on a high.
that. Yeah, because in the daytime in Brazil the water's freezing.
So
like,
cold.
The seawater is so cold. And the night was okay.
I was even surprised at how cold it was, to be honest, because sometimes the day was so hot and the water was freezing.
No, it's freezing.
So then we take all our photos, whatever. We come back to the bar now. We're sitting down chilling, chatty. The boys come back and they're like, "Oh, we lost you." And we're like, "Oh, we lost you. We knew we lost you, hon. We knew we lost
We're
you,
like,
lot."
we dodged
And they were
you.
like, "Happy New Year, Happy New Year." We like cheers, had a drink, whatever.
Did like goals for the year
And
ahead.
oh my god! So they did this. Now when I look back, this is so fucking cringe. So we were sitting at the table.
Oh, don't
No, I'm
say
telling
the-
them. I'm
No,
telling them.
don't say the quote. Don't do the quote.
So we're all talking, whatever, and we're all going around the table and we're kind of saying like what our goals are for the year, blah blah blah. And one of the guys made up this kind of thing, and it's like after someone said what they wanted for the year, he would be like, "You got it already! You got it already!"
I'm actually gonna die. Because that night we were eating that shit up.
Oh,
I was like,
Eating it
you
up.
done got it.
Yeah,
already."
yeah,
We were like,
yeah. We were having, but also bear in mind, like we're like 2-3 drinks deep. We've had tequila
and
shots.
like one Caipirinha
We've had champagne.
was like getting us drunk already. So 2 or 3.
we had a couple drinks, so we were drunk and we were just going along with it. And like when you look at it, Americans in general, they're a bit more like enthusiastic and a tiny bit more cringy.
We were definitely drunker than we thought because I didn't feel drunk.
Smashed!
I didn't feel drunk until like maybe like 4 a.m., 3:30.
I didn't feel drunk until I lay down in my bed. And then I was like,
And I was like, no, I'm not drunk. And then when I look at the footage back, I'm like, we were drunk from
My
like
eyes was like-
midnight. Like we were, after we get out the water, I think we were finished from then because we were like, I'm not drunk at all.
Yeah,
really.
whatever.
We were
A
fine.
new thing for me to realize is that when someone says, "I'm not drunk at all," they're smashed because that
Yeah,
always
we
is
were
said
trying a bag
when
of
you're
shit.
smashed. Anyway, so then we do this whole cringy "you got it already" thing, and we leave that place and we go on the strip and we're walking around Copacabana. We're having a great fucking time. We're getting drinks from people on the stands. We're going into bars. We're just hearing live music. We're doing a bunch of shit. Then
We went to the south to the quinceañera.
No, before the quinceañera, the toilet strikes.
Oh, the toilet.
I had to go to the toilet so bad.
And there was only Portaloos.
There was only Portaloos. The Portaloos stank.
Yeah,
that is
it's
one
gross.
thing to remember. If you go to Brazil for New Year's, the Portaloos, not a vibe.
And people just wee on the street like
Men will be
so
peeing
gross.
all over the place, guys. Please don't do that. It's not nice. And then we were like, where are we gonna go to the toilet? So this guy, let's call him Frederick. Frederick was like, Frederick was trying to find me a
Why do
toilet.
you always have to get these names that are so
I don't
difficult?
know.
They could
They
have
literally come
just
up-
been called like Scott or something.
It's the first name that comes to my mind. So Frederick is looking for a toilet for me. So he's asking all these places, can we go and can you go to the toilet? They're like, no. Eventually we find this bar.
Yeah,
and
he was being 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 Jen at this
like
point.
literally, and he was even telling them that he was going to pay them. I was like, wow.
So then I'm just like, hold on a minute. I can't bear this anymore. I was actually at the point where I was like, I'm going to have to go home. If I have to walk home on
All
my own,
of that
I
was
will.
such a blur to me.
But you know
I think
what's
I was
nuts?
so wasted that
When
like,
I look back
just
at it
didn't
now,
even think.
if I had tried to walk home that night on my own, I would have never made it. The walk home would have been over an hour. I would have pissed
The walk
myself.
home was nuts.
I would have pissed myself. So then eventually we find this bar and he pays, no word of a lie, $60 for all of us to get into this bar. So each person.
yeah.
So each girl he
Bless
paid $60
him.
for, and then himself.
Thank you
and
for
we're
your
like,
service,
we're like,
sir.
what a nice man. And then every time, and also one thing that we kept doing was anytime someone tried to bother us, we would just be like, security, security.
Yeah,
And they would
really
come and like be
they
like,
were
"Excuse me,
looking
ma'am."
after us.
They were looking
yeah.
after us. Like we bumped into my friends all over again. My friend Clay, Svenja, we bumped into them on the strip. We were with all of them. Anyway, we go into this place. We're doing like, it's like basically like a quinceañera.
It was lit.
It was so
a
good.
kid. There was a little girl like twerking.
There was a girl twerking. Her mum
It was
says,
they were playing
"No."
Despacito. And we were doing up salsa dancing.
Yeah, we were
it
having a
was
fucking
so
good time.
fun in there.
And we do all that. We leave. We go somewhere else. We come back. We have a great fucking night. We stayed out until sunrise.
Yeah, we started crying.
We were crying on the walk home.
No, when the sun came up, we were
Yeah.
crying.
That was on the walk home.
And In a Bloom was playing. You went toilet.
I missed that, yeah. And then, yeah, we walked an hour and a half to get home.
I don't even remember it. I remember like hating life on that walk, but it didn't feel like an hour and a half.
When we were walking, I remember just looking at like the edge of Copacabana and thinking it's not getting closer. It's literally not getting closer. My feet, when we got home,
My
were numb.
feet, and we were in freaking
We were in like Havaiana flip flop.
The feet were hurting.
Yeah, we were.
I
not
mean,
in a
I
good
think the
way.
walk sobered me up for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But the next day I was still hanging.
Yeah, the next day.
But it wasn't
I mean,
bad
it was 5
hanging,
a.m.
but
we got in.
it wasn't good hanging either. Like it was just like, oh. Anyway, so we have this great night. My friend meets this guy, Sandra and Frederick. We think, oh, this could be a thing. Maybe they'll like become a couple. Like maybe we'll look back and be like, do you remember when you guys met in Brazil? So romantic, right? Is it though? So
I think we're Delulu.
a couple days go by, and then on like nothing happens. They keep talking, but like they don't meet up again. But they stay in touch. Whatever.
The guy's left.
The
at
guy
this
leaves
point.
to go to Salvador. They stay in touch. So on January 3rd, so 3 days has gone by, my boyfriend texts me at the nighttime and is like, can you call me? Which is really weird for him because he normally just like will ring me, or he'll be like, he won't ask me if I can talk. He'll just ring me, or or I'll ring him or whatever. Like we're on different time zones. And I'm like, oh, I'm at dinner. I'm going to call you later. And he's like, make sure you call me in the morning. So I was like, what the hell's going on? So then anyway, the next morning I call him, he doesn't answer. So then we're at breakfast, my phone rings and it's him. And I'm just like, hi babe, blah, blah, blah. So then he is like, basically long story short is that he is like asking me who this guy from New Year's is. And I'm just like, how do you even know this guy? Like, how do you know his name? Turns out that my boyfriend's best friend is dating this guy.
Small world.
How do the worlds collide
Yeah.
in a whole Brazil?
I feel like if something's meant to be, or find a way. Like,
But this is why I always say what's in the dark will always come to light.
Yeah.
Because even across different continent, it's come to light.
Man like Frederick fucked up.
Frederick fucked it. Frederick fucked it. So that was our drama. So then we were
Yeah.
like literally screaming the house down because we were like, how has this connection even happened? Like it's so close to home as well. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Not me.
I mean, I think after seeing seeing the things that he'd been saying to her at the same time that he was like
Messaging his girl.
I think it was just not great.
And I think also it kind of like, it also like, it's so annoying because I feel like you want to, as women, we want to take men that we meet at face value.
Yeah.
And that night we met them and we were like, these are such nice guys, very gentlemanly, very thoughtful. And it just turns out that like you're just playing the part of the nice guy once again.
Yeah.
And it's just so it's like in 2025, like we're in our 30s. Like, is it you still got time for this?
I feel like he also could have just been like, you know, I'm like going through something at the moment or something, but like, I don't know, men don't really want to say that, do they?
But also you seeked this out because you were on Hinge. It's not like he just met us on the strip, you know? If he just met us on the strip that night, whatever happens, you know? But like, you literally seeked us out.
Yeah, he really fucked it.
Frederick is in the bin. Frederick fucked it.
But anyway, he didn't ruin our time.
No, we
had
still had
that
a great
night,
time.
Whatever.
I mean, definitely one of the top 10 nights of my life as well.
Yeah, it was so fun.
It was so good.
You were like, everyone's going to be at home by 2 a.m. Like, she
I
really
just didn't
thought
think it was
everyone's
gonna go
not
on that
going to be on the
long.
beach
I
after
didn't
like
think it was
1
gonna be that
a.m. I
much.
was like, hun, people in London be staying out till like 3,
No, but
4
like, you
a.m.
know,
on
like
New
in
Year.
certain countries, they start to like clear you out, like send you home. I thought it was going to be like that.
No, there's no clearing out. It's Brazil. Didn't you see videos of like people on the beach all night?
No.
Usually, like they're playing football or like a lot of people. I think I sent some to Leash on TikTok recently where people are on the beach for sunrise and stuff like that. Like people would just be chilling there.
Actually, you know what? I have seen that, but like it wasn't on New Year's, so I just assumed like New Year's because there's so much going on. Like police will be like, okay, home time.
No, there was not. I don't think I even saw police.
They were not.
Like I think there was police, but I don't think I saw any. There was even just like old people out. Like everybody was outside.
Everyone was out. I mean, if you live close by, you're not sleeping because it's so loud. There's so much going on.
I mean, a lot of people have asked me like, how safe did you feel and how safe was it? Because obviously New Year's Eve is like prime time for
on New Year's,
robberies.
I feel like I felt safe.
Apart from them guys, when we were on the beach and they were looking real shifty.
So the thing is, what the weird part about that was, there was these guys on the beach, right? They were staring at us. Well, it felt like they were
kind of staring at
us,
everyone.
But they were kind of staring at everyone. But then after New Year's, the ball dropped. It's midnight. There's fireworks. They were doing up praying. So they weren't gonna rob no one. They were doing the prayer circle, hun.
These prayer guys still be.
Yeah, true. SPAC nation. But anyway, yeah, nothing happened. I mean, like, I think we were also quite like wise about the way we moved. We left our flip-flops back at the restaurant, so like we could go back there and just put our shoes on. We just on the beach shoeless. We had no bag. We had our
because people were going into the sea with their shoes on,
Clay
which made no sense,
and lost his shoes.
Like, why are you going into the sea with flip-flops on?
I don't know. It was very weird.
No.
But like, yeah, we didn't have anything ultra valuable on us, like except for our phones.
Yeah, that was.
We only brought up my small camera. We didn't bring any cash, so like we didn't have a lot of stuff, and we all were quite smart with like we were all quite smart with like our phone chains on and stuff like that. Like, and we just, I think, and we had small bags under our arms tight.
And even being drunk, like I didn't feel like a target or anything.
I'm not gonna lie, like I don't think there was any time in Brazil where it was like I thought, oh, I'm gonna get robbed right now.
Not in the favela.
Only the favela. Now let's talk about the favela.
Because that was nuts.
Can I see?
Are we allowed to talk about this?
Why not?
I don't
the
know.
Truth.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was an experience. Like I didn't expect it to be so. Like I felt like I was on a movie set.
Yeah. I think like it's when you watch City of God, you think City of God like as a film. This is real life shit for these people.
I've seen like
crazy
loads of things. Obviously, people being like you shouldn't go there and stuff like that because it's obviously like people going to the hood of London. Do you know what I mean? But
I think it's a very catch-22 thing. Like I understand why some people say it because they're like, oh, is it like poverty porn? You know?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I think you have to like tread lightly about like what you're doing. Like I personally didn't post any videos that had any people from the favela in it on purpose, and
some people don't mind though. Like I've seen a lot of things going around where they're actually with the people from there.
Well, I mean, we had people that came. We had those kids that wanted to take photos of us, but I didn't post it on my social media. I think if you take that photo, cool, but like I don't think you should be posting that stuff on social media because
I don't think I did.
I think it's just not. I mean, it's just not a good way to like move. I know
think. What you mean, yeah.
But I think going to somewhere. I think also like.
It depends who it is, who like what the talk like. I think it's that I'll be educated into like what's going on. I think before I got there I wasn't, and I think after going there I was like, oh, okay, I get it now because like people think you go there and you're paying whoever and this money is just going whatever, but like people are actually really looked after in the favela. Like obviously like to a certain extent because it's still like the slums. Do you know what I mean? They're not like fucking mansions up there, but like the favela people really look after themselves, and that's another reason why they introduce these tours, because like the money is like going back into it. Well, so they tell us anyway.
I think like you have to be educated on like what's actually going on with these tours. Like, so for instance, the tour we went on was run by a guy who was a local who actually lived there, and a French guy who has moved to Brazil, and they both run the tours together. And one of the guys, he literally lives in the favela. Everybody he was walking past, he was saying hi to, hey to. Like he couldn't have, the tour isn't possible without this person, because he is like really and truly giving us all like the pass to be like, it's okay for us to be there. And from what they told us, having tourists in the favela makes it safer for locals, because when the police come, if the police come to the favela and the gangsters and the police are doing head to head, the police are not going to do that with foreigners in the favela.
Yeah.
And when the police have come to the favela in the past, when there was no tours, they happily shot up people's houses.
Yeah, women, children.
And women,
anything.
children have died at the police's hands. Obviously, you know, this is what we've been told by people on the ground. So this is what I'm going to take the information from. And they've said that us being there makes it safer for them, and it makes it safer for other people, because they can become a tourist attraction. And obviously that deters the government from doing those kinds of things. So, and also all the money we spent went directly back into people's pockets. We went to a bar there where we paid local people.
Yeah.
We went to a guy's house, basically, where he allows you to go on his roof. We paid him for access to his roof. We went to where else?
The kids also got like
the kids. Well, they allow you to play like a football match with some like local kids, and those kids also get money in their hands, basically,
and like food.
Yeah, and food
else.
And stuff like that. They paid for all of them to have like I think it was like a snack or something, and like drinks and stuff. And they gave the kids like cash, and then also
apart from the gang dons, they didn't get anything.
I don't think the gang dons wanted our.
I think they weren't. They actually weren't part of like. I think it was just by chance.
They were just there.
Yeah, because that was nuts. Like there was these like favela gang guys, and they were doing up AK-47, two straps on the waistline.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh,
there was even a guy counting bullets.
Yeah, so he was like separating them or something, and I was just like, hello.
yeah
Like acting like it was so normal and that I've seen so many guns. I was just like, how are you?
And the thing is like I've heard of people like compare it to like being in I'm from Peckham, like being from somewhere that's technically a hood in London. It's just not even comparable.
No, it's so scary.
It's not even comparable. Like I've walked through. There's obviously places in London where like they don't advise you to go. Like you might get beat up, blah 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 blah. But like it's not comparable in a sense of you're not going to see someone walking around with an AK-47.
Like everywhere. You're not going to see multiple people.
And also like some of these kids were like 15.
Yeah, that's
walking around with like AK-47.
And they have to.
And they're just laughing, like just walking around like, hey, like whatever, loving life.
And they've all got like walkie-talkies, and like they're like they have to tell you if like the ops come in. Like they're protecting their space, which like makes sense. But then it's like it's very real. Like it's just like shit that this is a thing.
It is sad. And I think so like even they were telling us basically like how the bosses of the favela, like they basically like pay for like the water, they pay for the electricity. So like these people are literally looked after by like the person who runs the gang. But like obviously then you still have the like fear and the danger that like one day another gang might come and try to take over. And they like were showing us like bullet holes in the wall. He was like, here, Glock, here, Glock.
Oh yeah,
Glock,
it was
Glock.
like
we were like Glock, Glock, Glock. Like it's crazy.
I mean, they were all super nice to us.
They
like,
were.
I think like unless you're going up there and you're going up there on a random one, or you're going to do something that's going to antagonize them or something like that, I think they're not going to just come and kill you.
No.
Which is like, I think a preconception that people have, like Brazil's so dangerous, oh my God. But I'm like, they're not going to just shoot up girls who are there on a tour. Do you know what I mean? If we went up there on our own,
that's a totally different story.
But I wouldn't advise to do that.
I think also like what people need to bear in mind is that like Brazil is one of the only countries I've ever been to where minimal people speak any kind of English. So like it's not like you could be somewhere and you could go wander around the wrong road and be in the favela and explain, oh, I'm just like a tourist, I'm lost. They don't know what you're saying. They don't know what you're saying. They don't speak a word of English. It's literally like it's literally like I'm like, hi, I'm Ashlee, and they're like blah 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 blah. Like there's no communication going on. So I think that is something that you have to just be like aware of. Like obviously be street smart. Like, I mean, do you remember the day when I was accidentally at the bottom of the favela?
Yeah.
Like, I got on this bike taxi and it dropped me off near this... I thought I was going to the beach, and then I ended up at the bottom of, like, another favela, and I, like, literally just sat there, and I saw the police car. I just sat next to the police car, and I kept my mouth closed, boy. So a man walked past me who was like, bon dia, and I was like, Like I didn't say a fucking word because I didn't want anyone to know I wasn't.
I think there's sketchy places.
Yeah.
Like the night me and Leash went out as well, like we were gonna walk to that club that we were going to, and we walked up this random road and we literally just like 360'd. We were like, no thank you. Yeah, I think there's definitely sketchy parts. And I saw like definitely like remember in Centro, like where we went to Pedro de Sal that night. That place was also
we were driving through this area called Centro, and like I'm
and
not
that's
gonna lie,
near Lapa, like that's where we were. And
I was like, there's no chance I'm getting out of this car here. So like obviously there is risks, and I think you have to be like smart about that, and but like just don't do stupid things. Like we purposely didn't bring any of our like jewelry, we didn't bring any of our designer stuff. Like even some nights when we went out, I'd take my Apple Watch off and leave it at home because I was like, I don't need anything to like be a target on me, you know. And a lot of the time, instead of wearing like the bags that we normally would carry, I had like a crossbody pouch when we went out, and I'd put my phone in it so that it was always like almost virtually impossible to get it. Like you'd have to be in my chest to get it. So I think we were quite smart about doing stuff like that, and that's why we were okay.
Yeah.
I think just don't be stupid. Like it's not that hard.
I think being from London as well, you are quite street smart.
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
agree.
always like thinking someone's trying to rob me.
Yeah, you really are.
There was a girl the other day outside the ramen place, and she was saying something, and then she was like, wait. And I was like, is this bitch trying to rob me? I'm like, what is happening? I was so confused. Like she just kept talking, and I was like, she's like, oh, should I go in there? Like what? And she was with her friends. It was just the most random interaction. And I was like, are you on crack? And then I went to walk off. She was like, no, wait. And I was like, making sure I have my stuff on me.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially like London has a lot of like phone theft. So like most of the time I'm kind of on guard anyway, like when I have my phone out. So I think in Brazil it's kind of the same. And it's like when you're on the beach, like don't leave your stuff like laying around, like don't have anything too valuable. Like we just really and truly had most days we just had our phones in ourselves.
I mean, I think we were quite like, la, because even that day that guy was like, you guys need to like keep your phones with you.
What day?
There was I think it was like one of our last days we were at the beach, and there was an old man like sat near us, and he was like French or something. Oh
yeah.
And
we were walking around a lot taking photos.
And it was the day when that kid was with us, and he was like, you guys should keep your phones with you. Oh, when the little boy came over, I remember, and he was putting on, he was typing Wayne Rooney or whatever on my phone, and we were just like, hee hee.
Oh yeah, and I gave him £20. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, and then he left his shoes.
I don't think they were his. They were massive.
I don't know.
But yeah. I think you just gotta be smart in it, and don't go in the favela unattended. Like, go on a tour or stay out. I mean, to be honest, there was 2 other girls on our tour with us, and they met up with the host later, and they went to a party. In the favela,
yeah, they did.
And they said they had a great time. So,
I mean, I was then obsessed with like going on. So we met like a guy, so we saw his Instagram, who lived in the favela, and then afterwards I was like going through all of his followers and just like watching all their stories, and it was nuts.
He was doing a hot tub in the favela. Hot tub, and he's like, he had like photos, and it was like his guns, money, alcohol, everything. So yeah, it was a bit crazy.
Yeah, it's really giving gangsters paradise.
Yeah, literally. I mean, what else happened?
A lot happened. The helicopter.
Oh, we went on a helicopter.
The helicopter was so good.
Yeah, I've 10 out of 10. I definitely would recommend.
It's scary, don't get me wrong.
I didn't find, like, I'm scared of heights, and I didn't feel like it was that bad because I felt like safe because I was strapped in. I think the only thing that was a bit kind of crazy is that it was like such a, like, it felt like a piece of paper,
and
like,
also the fact that the boy
kid
driving it was like 10 years old. I was like,
the driver was
have you finished
young.
school? He was so young. I was like, this kid is not over the age of like 13. Like,
no,
what?
No, he must have been over. He must.
Can we also
I think 15.
take a moment to talk about the hot men?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie.
A moment of silence.
I'm not gonna lie. I do think the whole every man in Brazil thing's hyped.
The what?
Like before I went to Brazil, everyone was like, everyone in Brazil is beautiful, blah blah blah. I low-key think it's a bit hyped.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I heard that.
I'd heard that,
I think like, Brazilian people are really beautiful.
Brazilian people are really beautiful.
The kids were like every child.
I think the kids were more beautiful than anyone else. But like, I feel like what I heard about Brazil was that like every single man, every single woman you see is gonna be like 10 out of 10. The bodies are gonna be crazy. The face is gonna be crazy. The hair's gonna be crazy. Everything crazy. There was some good looking men. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say it was above average of any other country I've been to.
I mean, I'd have to disagree. I think definitely if I went to like Paris or Italy, I'm not seeing this caliber of men. For me, it was
our
giving,
type isn't there.
For me, it was given, I fell in love with this guy. I fell in love with the guys who were working on the beach.
You mainly fell in love with the workers on the beach.
I fell in love with the helicopter guys. I fell in love with a lot of people out there.
Yeah, but I feel like you could go to the States and see the same level of man there.
Yeah, the States, but not like...
Yeah, but you can't compare like Paris
Spain.
but you can't compare those countries because you don't like white boys like that.
I don't know. I think there was a lot of good looking. Like when I was walking around, I was like,
there was, but I didn't think it was as like mad as people made out.
I mean, I've not heard anybody talking about it.
I'd heard like every single person.
I was having a great time.
But I think there are definitely some good looking people. There's definitely some eye candy. But
I wouldn't recommend to go for them because I've heard it's a bad time. Oh. Yeah, like the DR guys. Yeah. People literally, even on my video that I posted, people are like, don't fuck around with those Brazilian men. I was like, I mean, I can see that.
Really?
Yeah, they're giving like, you know, look at the ones that kept coming up on TikTok. They know they're good looking.
I don't feel like we saw those kinds of guys that much. Like the guys on TikTok were nicer than the guys we saw in real life for sure.
Because they're all in the favelas.
Yeah, they're in the favelas for sure.
Like they were good looking.
Do you know what we saw? An abundance of gay men. Yeah, and it got to the point where we couldn't work out who was straight because most people would have been what we would have considered gay, but in Brazil the style for men is like really small shorts, like a lot of banana hammocks, a lot of little panties.
Yeah,
so we couldn't really tell because
prints.
We couldn't really tell if it was like gay or straight guys.
Yeah.
So remember that day when that guy was like staring and I was like, is he staring at you or is he staring at Trey?
He was staring at me.
I don't think he was.
I mean, I was staring at him and he made it into my video, so hey. I'm back in my perv girl era.
But what I would
like
say,
this since the DR last year.
You was really doing that pervy perv. But what I will say is, on the whole, like generally bodies, like people's like physique is unreal. Like majority of people, gay, straight, left, right, whatever you are, blue, yellow, your body looks good. Like the girls' bodies, the boys' bodies.
Yeah.
That is one thing they had.
Wait, we also have to talk about Pedro de Sal.
That was a good time.
Yeah, I mean the first time was not.
The first time was not.
No, we had a bad time that day.
But I think like the thing is, so what if you don't know, guys? Pedro de Sal is basically like a street party that happens. I think it's every Monday and Saturday.
They actually do it like every day, but apparently Monday is like the bigger day to go.
Okay,
because I think they have like smaller ones or stuff.
Okay, so like, and basically it's like this area where they basically have all these like stalls. You can get drinks. They've got parties going on. They've got live bands. It's basically just like this big like party scene. And we went the first Monday we got there, which was before New Year's.
Yeah.
So it was when a lot of people had just flown in. Like Brazil, Rio in general was just heaving, and it was impossible.
Remember?
Yeah, like getting there, there was traffic to get to the area.
It was awful.
And then like once you got in there, like we couldn't even get onto the street because it was so packed. But also we got there quite late.
Yeah, it was too late.
So I don't know if it was like it starts around. Was it like 6?
Like 7 or 8.
It starts,
and I think because when we left, we were inside already.
Yeah. So like, because we got there early this time, when we actually got there, we could walk through quite easily. There wasn't that much people. When we left a couple of hours later,
it was giving Candy Crush.
It was really scary. Like it was like, can we get out? Like there was points where we couldn't even move. Like it was actually that
crazy.
bad.
And it was raining and everyone was like partying. I mean, it was so fun.
It was so fun, but you just need to situate yourself at the right places.
And get there early.
Yeah.
Those guys that were dancing, like we literally saw a video of on TikTok from that night and it was the guys dancing and I was like, it was from that same night. Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah,
they're doing like little dance routines.
So basically, we found this like spot where there was these guys. They were like,
it was like R&B music.
Yeah, it was all R&B music, which was jokes because none of them knew the songs. And then we were there screaming our little hearts out because we were probably like the only like foreigners, Westerners.
And the guy behind us who was Brazilian,
he knew the music.
English.
Yeah, he knew the music, and it was basically just us like all singing.
Oh, when they played Snoop Dogg,
we were having the time of our lives.
We weren't even drunk either.
We weren't really. We had like one drink,
and it was raining. I thought we were gonna get drowned at one point.
Yeah, at one point like the water like spilled out into the crowd. It was crazy.
I mean, we looked not good by the end of it.
No, we looked a mess.
Yeah, I was like, this hair, and then I put my hair in a bun.
My lashes like going down my cheek, like it was not good.
Yeah, it was.
But it was a vibe.
And I had my fan.
Oh yeah,
that was so fun.
It was hot as hell. We were.
Oh, the humidity.
So hot. It was so humid. But the routines, we'll put them on the screen somewhere. Routines, fire.
Like I could have watched them all night.
And there was like this old guy, and he would be like, okay. He'd just like say what he's saying, and they would all know what time it was, and they would all just start doing the routine after him. And I was just
I've seen this a lot though since we left. So we were going to go to the other party, which was like, remember that day when we were like, oh, it's 40 minutes away and we didn't want to go because it was quite far. They do it a lot in that place, that like under bridge place. And I saw a lot of young people doing like R&B dances. But I'm like, how do they all know this dance? I want to know.
The thing is, and it's not even just, it's like, it's a dance, but there's like many variations of the same dance. And it's like, well, they'll add in like two or three different moves.
And everybody knows it.
And I'm like, where do they learn this?
Yeah, I want to know. If anybody knows, please tell us.
Yeah,
we have no idea.
We have no idea.
I really want to know how they get the routine.
But that was 10-10. That's like a must. I feel like you have to go to that.
And the drinks were so cheap.
£1. It was like, I paid £1.50 or £2.50 for 3 Caipirinhas.
It was so cheap.
Yeah, and they were strong as hell.
Yeah,
like the drinks, they don't be doing no measure. They do pori.
And they were even playing that tick tick tick. We didn't like that though.
I wasn't a massive fan.
On the first day we
music.
went, they were playing that tick tick tick.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the Brazilian music. I think it's just not for me.
I think if we stayed, like if we went back up, we probably would have been there all night. Because I've seen videos afterwards and it gets like litty, like later on.
Really?
Yeah. I think we were tired though.
No, we had to be up early the next day for something.
Yeah.
I
and we had to go back to the house.
Didn't we have a new flight? Have a flight or something?
No, we had Chez George.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to go back to the house. Remember? It was so long.
We ended up staying at the house.
Yeah. We also just don't do late nights.
I mean, we went out a fair few times. You went out more than I did because that one night I was like, I can't do tonight.
I mean, we just went to some samba place and like we went home that late.
But like,
we didn't go out.
No. What do you mean?
We didn't really go like out. Like
there wasn't.
To a party.
There's no outs though. Was there?
There is. Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, we didn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we'd save, but I think it's just a bit intense because they're like actual clubs. So I'm like, I don't know. Like
I mean, I like the vibes of the stuff we went to more than I would probably enjoy a club. Yeah. Like the street parties. I just
some of the clubs did look cool though that we found, but then I think it's just an effort. Like it is long.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed it. What else? What else did you enjoy?
The street market, the Gloria. I was loving Gloria.
So that really brings me on to something we should talk about. The food is wiggity whack.
Yeah, the food wasn't the greatest.
I have to say, the food was not great, like at all.
I think it was just very mid. Like nothing really like blew me away like that.
I think the probably the best food I had was like the breakfast at Musa, and then that steak place. Oh, Le Poule.
Oh, the churrasco was nice.
The churrasco and the French place.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing. That was like late into the trip. We were like, oh wow, like we're actually eating nice food.
But like I think like on the whole,
and
like,
I actually really you didn't like it. I like the chicken place that we went to on the last day.
I didn't like the chicken at all. That lemon chicken, I didn't like that. I think on the whole, like I would say like there wasn't much food that was above average. There was more food that was below average. Even in Sao Paulo, I was kind of disappointed because we went to Sao Paulo at the end for like 3-4 days, and I don't think like I can't.
I definitely preferred the food in Sao Paulo.
Which one?
The sandwich that I had was like 10 out of 10.
I didn't eat that because it had onions in it.
And then what else did I eat? I think the breakfast was good. That Botanic Cafe, that was really
the breakfast
nice.
in Sao Paulo on the whole was good.
What else did we eat? I feel like I definitely enjoyed the restaurants there more. Not the one on
the
first
Italian
night.
restaurant was good.
I mean, I couldn't taste that night.
The Asian restaurant was not good. We had like a Japanese place.
I think there was more.
Good.
I think we should have went like. There's so many Japanese places to go. I think that day we just couldn't be bothered, and we just went to like a local place. But there was definitely more places that we should have like.
I mean, we couldn't. We only had 3 days. But like, and you were sick for one and a half of them.
Yeah.
On the whole, I would say like, if you're going to Brazil for the food, like, forget it.
It's funny because a lot of people, first thing they ask me is, how was the food?
It just wasn't great.
And I'm like,
I think also like, and I've said this because when I was talking to my friend about it, she was like,
I also really like the pastel, the cheese, the queijo.
Yeah, but like that's like a not a meal. You know what I mean? It's a snack. Like there's not a lot of meals I can say like. Well, I think you know what I think also like we travel a lot, so we go to a lot of really nice
Brazilian
food places.
Either, apart from the steak, we didn't actually eat like
where
Brazilian
would we have
dish.
eaten that?
There was quite a few Brazilian restaurants, even in Sao Paulo, and we walked past that one that was next to the cookie place, and it was packed. That one looked good.
That looked good, yeah. That looks good. I regretted not going to that. I think on the whole, like I just don't think Brazil is like a great foodie place.
Also, the sandwich I had at the market with the cheese, that was also nice.
And I think
garlic bread.
I think also I couldn't eat that again. It had onions in it, but I think also we've been to so many countries that have like amazing food. And I think like, for instance, let's just say Bali, for instance, 9 times out of 10, the food's going to be like above average. You know what I mean? And I think most food in Brazil was below average.
It's not below. It wasn't below average for me, but I think it wasn't like a place where I was like, oh my god, I need to go back to certain places.
So that's below average then.
Like when I did my ratings, a lot of the places I rated was like a 7.
Yeah, I thought you were generous. I thought you were quite generous with your rating.
I don't know. I didn't like hate it. Like if someone put the plate in front of me, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, but you wouldn't go back. You wouldn't like.
I'd definitely go back to the rat place. That was really.
I think
good.
the rat place and the. French place.
I really like the chicken that you didn't like. I'd go back there.
Yeah, but 3 places in 2.5 weeks
Churrasco.
I can say I'd go back to. That's
the
not a
breakfast.
lot. Musa, that's about it.
Yeah, I think next time I might try some new places.
100%.
But there's definitely still places I'd go back to. I think I want to try more like Brazilian food.
I think it's just because there's so many countries I've gone to, and it's like every meal slaps. And I think this time, most of the time we were going places, we were like. Like there wasn't a lot of times when we were like blown away compared for how long we were there as well.
Yeah,
for like almost 3 weeks. I just think it's not good.
Yeah.
All right, so on the whole, let's just give it a rating. Brazil, is it worth the hype?
Yeah,
it's beyond the
hype. Of course it is.
I think it massively exceeded my expectations. Like.
And also the fact that like nothing dangerous happened, we didn't get robbed, probably adds a point onto it.
Really?
Yeah, because I was expecting to come back with no, like maybe one phone, maybe not with something. I was expecting to come back. I was like, well, got insurance. Like,
I think because people make it out like you're literally gonna like be robbed in the street on day one, and I think you need to have
a little scared.
Have your wits about you, but like it's definitely not that bad.
Yeah.
Obviously, we did say the favela's full of guns, but don't go to the favela.
Yeah, I would 100% recommend. Join our waiting list.
10 out of 10, we recommend. That's all we got time for today.
That's that.
Thanks for joining us in our suite.
Come to Bali.
Y'all want to come? We got some spots.
Yeah, come to Bali in May.
Yeah, see y'all then. Bye.
Bye.